Welcome. Well, our penetration testers having the right set of mind with the right set of tools and techniques can perform a perfect penetration testing with a perfect results. Well, this is a reconnaissance sections, so I will be talking about the reconnaissance tools that will passively discover each and every information required from the globe and from the internet, obviously. So there is yet another tool that is DiscoverScript written by Lee Bart. I use this tool mostly when I'm going through the penetration test of phase of reconnaissance because this fetch much information as possible from the internet that it collects information by using and combining most of the tools like DNSRecon, GoFile, uh, Google Mail, GoHost, the Harvester, Metasploit, URKZ, Who's database, and the multiple websites and a great tool that is ReconNG. So that is why I like it most, and obviously used it while going through the penetration testing engagement. So before going deeply into this tool, how to use it, and what is the benefit of using this, you need to just install this on your Kali Linux because Kali Linux does not have a pre-installed these tools. It was earlier installed, but from the rolling edition of 2016, it is not installed and pre-configured. So first of all, you need to just clone from the GitHub repositories by typing these commands, git clone, and the URL of the github.com from the libart and the discover script. And the directory will be opt and the discover. Because I have already installed into my computer and the Kali Linux, so I will skip this section and go through this, starting the tools, how to use it, and what is the feature-rich information gathering technique, that is open source information gathering technique from the internet, and why this is useful in nature, and why I like it the most, and why I use it the most of the time while performing penetration test phase of reconnaissance, that is passively discovery. So just to start with the tool, the directory has been installed. You need to just navigate the directory and start with in the same way as I type the command. Okay, here is the list of the techniques that you use to gather information from the target and the internet. Obviously, the information will be about the target. So this is the information gathering and the passive information gathering technique, that is the open source. So I will not be getting connected with the target system. Still, it will gather as much information as possible from the internet and around the globe. So in this case, I've just used domain reconnaissance and the passive reconnaissance by using the first one, that is the domain. So in this case, what you have to do is just place your choice number, and it will just give you another options to type the numbers. This is the interactive tool that it will ask you for the type the number, and it will just perform the action. So in this case, I just type the one option. It just provided output that what you want to perform, like passive reconnaissance or active reconnaissance, and if you want to go to previous menu. So in this case, I will just perform passive reconnaissance. So I will just hit 1 and press enter. Here it will ask for the company name and the domain name. So you have to just provide it. And the domain name in this way. And after just hitting enter, it will just do the rest of the work, like performing DNS reconnaissance and finding the files around the Google and the search engines like Bing and Baidu, that is the Chinese search engine, and also from the host file like Whois reconnaissance and squaring domains, double Ganges domains, and also the bit flipping. So that is the best part, and it will also perform the harvester tool by using this harvester tool and find the email address associated with that domain and the target company that you are going to perform a reconnaissance. So as I had just performed reconnaissance with the target Microsoft.com. I was using this Microsoft because it have lot more information to show you. So I have just performed the reconnaissance against the Microsoft domain. Well, there is no any obligation because I have just performed a passive reconnaissance that is open source available over the internet. So there will be nothing illegal in this section. So as you can see, it has just fetched as much information as possible from email address, domain name, and the subdomain name, and what is the target operating system and what was the server on which it was hosted from the Netcraft website. So in this case, it has provided me with the results and the output file. It is generated in HTML file. So what you need to do in the last is just copy this file and paste in the Firefox or whatever the choice of your browser. So I have already just pasted and opened it in a Firefox browser. So this is the home page that it will be greeted with the Discover by Lee part. So from here you can what the reconnaissance performed by me was the Microsoft.com, and the details have been saved here in the navigation tabs. So from here you can just navigate and find each information that you have that this tool Discover has found from the internet, and it has just provided and saved for you. So from here you can just navigate one by one and find like if you want to find the email address, then you have to just click email address and it will be providing lots of results with the email address. In this case, as I was just finding about the Microsoft and just performed a reconnaissance against the Microsoft.com, there is a total of 150 or 160 of email IDs from the Microsoft domain, Microsoft.com domain. Okay, when moving towards the names associated with the Microsoft company, these are the names that has markup Microsoft.com. Maybe that person was working in the past with that company Microsoft.com, or they may be just working in at present as well. So that's why it has also faced in this tool and listed with here. Okay, going through the navigations and the DNS tabs, so you can find also the configuration files about what the web server and the domain names have the configurations at this time. So with the domain name servers and the DNS records as well. So this information can be used to make a targeted attack later in the this module and this course, because this is a thorough penetration testing and from the professional level. So I will just make this information using the later and making use a targeted attack against that domain. Obviously, it will not be against the Microsoft.com, but how to use this information to make a targeted attack with the target system, I will be demonstrating later in this course. So moving through and with another options and other useful information, you can just move through the maps, or that it may be just providing with the maps results. You can find the name record systems of the MS Microsoft and the IP addresses as well, and it have find a lot more information. You can just rely upon it, because I mostly use these tools to find, because it finds a lot more information as much as possible in less time and also with the less effort. So that is why I like it the most. Okay, and now moving to the next example that is interesting as well, that is the squaring domain. These domains are listed, and you can just find it useful against the target host, because it may be used to use the phishing attack and the trust relationship attack relating to the target companies and the persons that is working in that company, to fish that person with associated email and sending the links, and they will be phished by getting that this is from the desired and legitimate Microsoft company domain. As you can see, this domain is squaring domain with the character omissions, because it is not the Microsoft. You can see clearly and see carefully, that is a sft.com with IP address. Okay, where there is no any reason names, there is the squaring domain. You can use it and find from the and register for yourself and use for the phishing attack. But I suggest you not to use it because this is for the information and education purpose. If you want to just perform in penetration testing against a target, having the written later that you are authorized to penetrate that network and use to perform that network penetration testing, then of course you can just use this kind of attacks. So there will be also the doppelganger domain in the, that is also the same kind of domain that you can use with that. So this is a fine-tuned tool and a feature-rich tool. As you have seen, this have gathered as much information as possible to find information and gather information about a target, any target it may be. So because the reconnaissance and information gathering technique is much useful in the penetration testing phase, as this is the hard part and of the penetration testing, total penetration testing phase, because once you have a lot more information about the target computer systems and the target organizations, the exploitation will be in no time. You can exploit the target in no time. So that is why you need to have patience with the reconnaissance and perform information gathering to have the information about the organizations or any computer systems or targets. So as I have just scanned the target with the passive reconnaissance, if I will just click and navigate through the passive reconnaissance, it was just showing that there is a summary that 150 is the email address it have found with the 185 names, and the host is 128, and the squaring is 101 squaring domains that you can register for phishing attack and the trust relationship attacks, and there are 168 domains available from the Microsoft.com. Well, going through the netcraft, it will also provide you that what is the domain name, operating system, and what is the web server that is Microsoft hosted on. So here you can see what is the IP address of the Microsoft Corporation, 1 Microsoft Redmond WAUS with the Windows Server 2012 and the web server that is IIS 8.5, and a lot more information is there, and that is corresponding to Microsoft.com. So I request you and also suggest you use these tools as much as possible in order to get fine-tuned information and feature-rich information in your hand, because going through this tool will be much useful, because it will provide you with tons of results in less time and with less efforts. So just explore these tools and use it, because I will not go deeply in these tools, because if I will do so, it may be the tools sections and the tools tutorial. So that's why you have to explore it for yourself and use it as much as possible. Thank you and all the best.